Buongiorno, welcome back to my channel. I can't believe it has been already a year since I uploaded a similar video. Today we are talking about my most used fragrances in 2022. I have here 15 fragrances. Actually, there are more because I have some honorable mentions and some fragrances that I put together as one. You will see why in a minute. I have over 120 fragrances in my collection. If you want to see my fragrance collection, you will find it in the description down below. I have two videos actually where I go through my collection and also some declutters. If you fancy these videos, then definitely check the description down below. Anyway, I have more than 100 fragrances in my collection. So having a dent on a fragrance is quite a challenge and means a lot, because that means that this fragrance is for me or a lifer or something that is quite an easy reach that I tend to use every day. And without further ado, let's start. And as usual, I always do in December a recap of the whole year. So this is not the only video that I will upload in this series. If you want to see my most used products, my best discoveries, best releases, where I tell you my final thoughts about the products that I tested during 2022, then definitely subscribe if you haven't already, and also hit the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload any new video. So let's start with honorable mentions, and you will see why in a minute. So the first honorable mention I have here, KAYALI Love Fest Burning Cherry 48. I purchased this maybe 2 weeks ago, so it's quite new in my collection, and as you can see, the dent speaks for itself. I'm totally obsessed. I am using it almost all the time. I actually have to force myself to use another fragrance sometimes. In a nutshell, it's a very similar fragrance to Tom Ford Lost Cherry, but definitely more affordable. It has, the notes are here. It has burning cherry, raspberry, praline, palo santo, guaiac wood, and patchouli. And I definitely get this woody base here. It's very intoxicating in a way and very alluring. Oh my god, when I sprayed this fragrance, both my son and my husband were like, "Ooh, what are you wearing? This is amazing." I got even a better reaction from my husband on this fragrance than on Invite only. It's a very dark cherry, it's woody, I think it's the Palo Santo that really makes a difference here. It's a joyful cherry, but with a very deep, dark side at the same time. It's very hard to explain, but it's very sexy. Very, very addictive. Really, I have this in my purse actually, and I just reapply it all the time. The only issue, it's the same like Lost Cherry. It does not perform well at all. I tried to overspray. I sprayed it on clothes. It does cling more to clothes, I have to say. But really, the longevity here is a bummer. Next fragrances are honorable mentions because they are unfortunately discontinued. Valentino, Donna, Acqua. Oh my god. This is so good. I don't know why Valentino did discontinue this fragrance. This is such an amazing scent, you can't even imagine. It's about almonds, it's jasmine. It has the same vibe like Valentino Born Aroma, but instead of the blackcurrant, you have here almonds. And it's delicious. It's so good. Sometimes with almond fragrances, it's a little bit too gourmand for my liking. This one, it was love at first sniff. It's actually a blind buy, but a very, very successful one. I am so happy that I have it now in my collection, but it's unfortunately discontinued. If you can find it, get it. I have already a backup bottle on its way. This is how much I like this fragrance. You see, the dent is here. If it wasn't for the fact that this is a discontinued fragrance and I was like, oh my god, I don't want to finish it, it will be probably here. Amazing scent. Again, sexy, addictive. delicious fragrance. So yeah, it's a fragrance that I would wear the same occasions, the same moods that I would wear Love Fest. And as Love Fest, it doesn't perform very well. It's really, I would say, weak to moderate longevity and sillage. But still, I am totally in love with it and I would definitely recommend you check it. Another discontinued fragrance that I talked about already is MIYAKE L'Eau d'Easy Shade of Sunrise. This is a flanker that is unfortunately discontinued. You can still find it at great price. Actually, it's very affordable fragrance. If you don't like scents like, for example, Terracotta from Guerlain or the new flanker of Nomade Naturel, all these very thick tropical fragrances, then definitely check this flanker. It has almost the same DNA like L'Eau d'Easy, but with added frangipani. It's a very uplifting, easygoing fragrance. This is what I want to say. With these out of the way, let's start with my number 15, Tom Ford Lost Cherry. For the longest time, I was skeptical about this fragrance. I didn't see the hype behind it. But then I tested it again and again, and suddenly I get it. The opening is so gourmand, like you can eat this fragrance. However, in the dry down, it's still a gourmand fragrance, but it gives me more of this woody base. And the base is definitely different to Love Fest. Here it's different woods. This is why I said it's the guaiac wood and Palo Santo that really distinguish Love Fest. Here it's definitely the almond. The woody base is more of sandalwood, or I personally get that. It has also more of this boozy touch. It's quite a boozy fragrance. And although it has the same issue of longevity that I have with Love Fest, it remains on clothes much more. So as a scent, I will be completely honest, I love Lost Cherry much more, but this doesn't mean that I will declutter Love Fest. It's this dark side of Love Fest that I like so much, and for me, I can have both of them in my collection. Now, you can't see the dent that I have on this fragrance. I actually had this one in my birthday haul, so I don't have it for a long time, but I have been using it so much that I will finish it before the end of this year. And I am holding myself again not to use it so much because it's so expensive. So when I bought this one, I said I will not need more than 30 ml. It's a gourmand and I don't use so much gourmand fragrances. But here we are. I'm totally obsessed. I get the hype, beautiful scent, and I will get myself a big bottle if I can find it on a deal. Next we have Atelier Cologne Santal Carmin. Now I know what you're going to say. This is a discontinued fragrance. No, it's not discontinued. It was first in my honorable mention and then I moved it because I saw that they only revamped this fragrance. It comes now in the, I want to say blue bottle, and with the gold plaque here. So it's not discontinued, it's still available. It was a blind buy in preparation for my buying guide on Atelier Cologne. You will find that video in the description in the eye. It's very simple, very light sandalwood fragrance, but it gives me the effect of clean skin. It's definitely a fragrance that I would recommend if you are going for the clean girl aesthetic during winter, because it just smells like second skin and it's also not very projecting or long lasting. So definitely like a second skin. It's a clean woody scent. This is how I would describe it. And I actually layer this one sometimes with Musc Noir, sometimes with even like the fresh fragrances from Atelier Cologne, and it works beautifully. It's perfect for layering and also as a scent in itself. If you want to smell clean, put together, and you love woody fragrances, like really light, fresh woody fragrances, and you love sandalwoods, and definitely this is one of the best. Santal Carmin. Next, we have Dior Poison Girl. And again, I am so surprised that I used so much of this fragrance because not my vibe. Not my vibe at all. This is the eau de parfum, by the way. And I don't know what's about this fragrance that I love so much. It's vanillic. It has this Play-Doh feeling, but not too much. I don't get it so much like other people do. And I don't know what's about this fragrance that draws me in, because I used to hate this one. I know a lot of people say that it's very long-lasting. This is not long-lasting on me. It's not weak, but it's a definite, like, solid, moderate longevity anti-age. So it stays on my skin for 5 hours, and the projection is definitely a moderate one. So if you love almonds, you love vanilla, and you love a little bit of this Play-Doh smell, yeah, then get yourself Dior Poison Girl. Next, we have actually, again, a fragrance that I added to my collection only in October, and this is Jo Malone, a Nectarine, Blossom, and Honey. So good. I mean, the dent is not really big on this fragrance, but keep in mind that I finished a whole decant of this fragrance, so it was, I think, 10 ml. So this means a lot. And this is a sweet nectarine fragrance. The honey, I think, just adds some sweetness. Yeah, I don't get a lot of honey per se. It's just this sweet, fresh, natural smelling nectarine fragrance. So beautiful to wear during summer and spring. I fell in love with this fragrance the minute I sprayed it, and it's my favorite Jo Malone. And I tested now a lot of Jo Malone fragrances. Still, this is number one in my list when it comes to Jo Malone. Nectarine, Blossom, and Honey. Next will not be a surprise, because I mean, the love I have for this fragrance, it's just out of this world. How much I love this fragrance. This is Mandarine Basilic from Acqua Liguria from Guerlain. The dent on this fragrance would be much bigger if it wasn't for the fact that I used a lot of fragrances that I actually decluttered. They were all like cheap freshies and in small size, so I wanted to use them up. I didn't feel like gifting them or even selling them, so I just finished these up. If it wasn't for that, the dent on this fragrance, I think, would be much bigger. And if you don't know, Mandarine Basilic is exactly like the name. It's a mandarin or like bitter orange fragrance with basil. It's fresh, it's slightly aromatic, but in the right balance. You know, with a little bit of aromatic fragrances, they tend to be quite masculine. This is not it. This is just in the right balance, a fragrance that is totally unisex. Men and women can wear it without any problem. And this is a fragrance that you should test during a hot summer day. Otherwise, you may disregard this fragrance or say, nice, but not mind-blowing. Trust me, because I did that. When I tested this one during a hot summer day, I just couldn't and went ahead and bought it immediately. So for me, this is a summer staple that will never go out of my collection. Next, we have two fragrances, and I will tell you why I decided to put them as one. So these are two flankers of Wonderlust. This is the Eau Fraiche and this is the Eau Voyage. And I included them as one because, as you can see, the dent is identical. I used these fragrances so much, as you can see from the dent, and I have them only in my collection for half a year maybe. And in this short time, I used as much as I used the original one for 2 years. So that says a lot. The whole line is about jasmine. The Eau Voyage has this salty touch to it, gives you this sea breeze feeling. The Eau Fraiche is just like a fresh version of the original Wonderlust. Both of them are not long lasting, but the scent is so good. As you know, I am a fan of the original one, but it's a little bit too heavy for me to wear like in the summer days. So I use it mostly for evenings, for days when it's not too hot. But with these two, I can definitely wear even in the very hot summer days. So I love them for that. And honestly, I don't care about longevity. With summer fragrances, it's not an issue for me. I just keep the fragrance in my purse and reapply if I want. Next, we will return to my beloved light blue. This is the intense version. Again, it's a fragrance that would have much bigger dent if it wasn't for the fact that I tried to replace it or use up the new flankers that came out this year, Italian Love. You will again find the full review in the description and in the eye. And it's just so similar to the original light blue that, yeah, I was not blown away by it. I tried to sell it, no one bought it. So I just kept on using it just to finish it up. So again, it's kind of a 2-in-1. I would include the Italian Love with the Intense, but this is my favorite, hands down. It's my go-to for out of the shower, gem. If I want to feel just refreshed in the summer, this is my go-to fragrance. It's one of my oldest fragrances in my collection. So for this fragrance to remain as much as it did, says a lot. Next, we have a KAYALI fragrance. Again, big surprise for me is Vanilla 28. Now, I bought this one for layering. And did I use it for layering? Yeah, with some fragrances. But I found myself wearing this fragrance on its own. More than I would have guessed, actually. Is it a mind-blowing scent? No. I mean, I know a lot of people swear by this fragrance and say that it's so amazing and I don't know, it's the best, they can't live without it. I can't say that for myself. Is it a good fragrance? Yes. Is it mind-blowing? No. It's nice, it's sweet, it's vanillic, not too sweet. It's vanilla orchid here, and it has a little bit of this almost burnt sugar. It's not caramel, but a little bit of this sugar vibe. And it's fortunate that I love the smell, so I keep on using it on its own, because honestly, layering, this does not work very well. It just doesn't give me much. It's such a light fragrance and doesn't project much, doesn't last long. So when I modify a fragrance, layering it with this one, I want a long-lasting modification, if that makes any sense. This doesn't do it. Next, we have, again, a blind buy. Oh, I now realized I have quite a lot of very successful blind buys. It's Florabotanica from Balenciaga. Now, it's not 100% blind buy. I did test this fragrance a long time ago. I didn't like it. I found this great deal on it and I just said, let's go and buy this fragrance, especially that everyone says that it's a fragrance that may deceive you at first impression, and I totally agree. Now, this is the fresh rose with cannabis in it. And some people say you can't smell the cannabis. I can smell it. It's there in the beginning, in the dry down. It just transforms. It becomes this creamy, almost balmy rose that is so weird and so unique. So I totally understand the hype. I am totally obsessed with the fragrance, as you can see. I use this one a lot during summer. Now, the things that I have to mention about this one. First of all, you have to test it on your skin and leave it. So the first impression can be really deceiving. And also, don't spray it on paper. It doesn't do the thing, like the magic. You have to test it on your skin. And the other thing that I have to mention is this works only during summer, or let's say hot weather. I tried this one a couple of days ago because I wanted a fresh fragrance for after the shower. No, it doesn't do this magic. This is a fragrance that needs heat to develop. In winter, it just doesn't do it. It remains sharp, fresh rose, and the cannabis lingers a little bit. So I did not like it at all. Strictly for me, a summer fragrance. Has good performance, by the way. Again, better performance with the heat. So yeah, 100% summer fragrance. I know a lot of people say that it is discontinued, maybe in USA, but here it's still available. You can't find it everywhere, I have to say, but that was the case right from the start here in Italy. It's not a fragrance that you can, I don't know, find in Sephora. So you can get it on some online retailers like Nutino. If you are from Italy, you will know it, or Europe, and also from department stores. Next is this Loubirouge from Christian Louboutin. I really need to check how it's probably pronounced. And this is iris, vanilla, and cardamom. It's again this typical cardamom vanilla combination, but very light, simple, put together, elegant. It's a beautiful scent, and it's one of the few times that I wear a fragrance and I get compliments is with this one. And the dent is almost here. I can see it in certain lights, so it's quite a lot, especially for this fragrance that is not like exactly a fragrance that you would wear on a daily basis. Also, I did that sometimes last winter. Beautiful scent, and although I would highly recommend it, I wouldn't recommend you buy it with the original price. The price tag of Christian Louboutin fragrances, in my opinion, are just outrageous. You are paying for packaging. If you can find it on a really, really good deal, I mean at least 30% off. Otherwise, I would say it's not worth it. Next are 3 fragrances in one. Yes, I'm cheating. This is the Eau Fraiche, Chance Eau Fraiche from Chanel, and Versace Versense. Now these two are very, very similar. And I didn't know that before buying Versense, by the way. I have a comparison between them, but I decided not to upload it because these are summer fragrances. So I will upload that video coming summer. So I just considered them as one. This is how similar they are. So these are fresh, elegant summer fragrances. So your citrusy floral fragrance, but with an elegant touch. So, and that is definitely Chance Eau Fraiche. My discovery this year is Chance Eau Vive. Look at the dent. It's so good. It has a little bit of a bite to it if we compare it to a fresh, stunning fragrance. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Again, very elegant, but even fresher than the Eau Fraiche. And this is why I love it so much. I know I have to thank a subscriber for this fragrance. She told me about it. I don't remember the video. so sorry if you are watching. Thank you. She told me that I should try Eau Vive. I did, and I just fell in love. It's an amazing scent. If you want an easygoing, fresh summer fragrance that has an elegance to it, you can't go wrong with either of these two, Eau Fraiche and Eau Vive. Next, we have, again, 2 fragrances. I will consider them as one because I used them exclusively together. I only used these 2 in combination. That's why I am considering one. This is Not a Perfume, Superdose, and this is Musc Mule, both from Juliette Has a Gun. This was also on my list last year, and when I bought this one, I don't know why actually I did that, because they are quite similar, but I just used them all the time together, and they smell just clean, fresh skin, and they are so similar. This just has a little bit of, I don't know, like a tanginess in a way that this one doesn't have, but both of them are quite similar fragrances. Actually, when I finish this bottle, I will not repurchase it. I will just stick to my Not a Perfume Superdose. I love the scent. It's a must be in my collection, not only because I love the scent itself, but also because it's a perfect layering combo with other fresh fragrances. It does modify a little bit the fragrance because the Superdose definitely has a strong smell, but I don't mind it because I love the smell of Citalox. Just clean, fresh, out of the shower scent that will not fail you. Again, if I have to choose one fragrance that just represents a clean girl aesthetic, it's this one. I actually have a video on clean girl fragrances. I will leave it also in the description down below. Next, we have two fragrances in one. It's Atelier Cologne, Love Osmanthus and Cedre Atlas. I mean, look at the dent. You will see that Cedre Atlas has a bigger dent, but it's just because Love Osmanthus is one of the fragrances that I always have as like a travel size with me in the purse. And I finished actually, yes, I finished a travel size of this fragrance this year. And I used it combined with Cedre Atlas again. Now, I didn't use these fragrances together, but they were like interchangeably. Is that a word? I don't know. But I used them in the same occasion. When I want to smell fresh, clean, I use these two. So it's a little bit like light blue from Dolce & Gabbana, but it doesn't give me this aquatic feeling. This is the difference. So Love Osmanthus is more floral. This is more woody, but at the end, I don't know. They are just beautiful, easygoing, fresh scents that also I lose a lot, like after the shower scent. So yeah, again, a summer staple that will forever be in my collection, especially Love Osmanthus. Next is a fragrance that I'm so obsessed with. And nobody talks, almost no one talks about this fragrance. And I think it's not like the favorite of a lot of people, but I just love it and adore it. And it's Easy MIYAKE and Drop of Easy. Okay, can you see the dent? I mean, it speaks for itself, especially if you consider that I have the new version. I have this dent. I definitely prefer the original one to the new version. I have a comparison video. Check it in the description down below. This was just a disappointment for me. I don't like it so much. But again, I am using it just to finish it because I don't dislike it. So I said to myself, I am going to finish this one and not going to repurchase it, of course. This is so good. It's lilac, it's powdery, it's feminine, it's like a cloud. This is my go-to bed scent. Do I wear it on other occasions? Yes, but mostly this is a bed scent for me. Something that just works if you want to feel cozy, you want to feel feminine. It's like a cloud. It's so beautiful. It's not a very projecting fragrance. It's quite an intimate fragrance. So I just find it perfect as a bed scent. Can you guess what my number one is? Yes, of course. Musc Noir from Narciso and Musc Noir Rose. Since they came out with the Musc Noir Rose early this year, I just obsessed with it. It took the place of Musc Noir, and that I already used a lot of last year. I think it was here last year, so I used the same this year and that much of Musc Noir Rose, so it says a lot. Actually, I am trying to finish this bottle, not because it's bad. I still love Musc Noir. Don't get me wrong, but just in comparison with Musc Noir Rose, no, this is just another level. And also quite a new fragrance. It's already in my 10 fragrances for life, best fragrances in my collection. I mean, this will be, again, forever in my collection. A very easygoing, elegant fragrance. It's a fragrance that I can wear with jeans, casual. I can wear it with more of an elegant outfit during the day, during the night, all year round. I also sometimes use it as a bed scent. Such a versatile, stunning fragrance. I have no words for it, how much I love this fragrance. Of course, you will have to be okay with the musk from Narciso because it is there. It has a little bit of a fruitiness from the plum. It has some vanilla. It has tuberose, the signature musk of Narciso, but everything is just made to perfection. So I love it. Would recommend it over the original one. Again, have a full review and comparison. You will find it in the description, as well as a whole buying guide of Narciso Rodriguez. So if you love Narciso fragrances, definitely check the buying guide, again in the description down below. And with that, I finished my most used fragrances. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumb up and consider subscribing to my channel. I have quite exciting videos coming very soon, so don't forget to subscribe and also to hit the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload any new video. Please tell me in the comments down below what is your most used fragrance in 2022. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Ciao!